Good afternoon and welcome to the May edition of our Public Works Committee meeting. Council members, committee members are John Larson and Scipio, Councilmember Burke, and sitting in with us today is Mayor Pro Tem Adams. And as usual, we will go through our consent agenda items in our new layout. Thank you very much, Mr. Manager. I think this is working well. Does anybody have any consent agenda items they'd like to pull? If not, if we could get a motion, and we'll do a voice vote.
For approval. Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Okay, now let's get on to the meat of our agenda. G1.
Item G1, Department of Sustainability 2024 Annual Update.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. If we can.
Hi, Chairman McIntosh, members of council, thank you. So first, I want to apologize. If you looked at the report this morning, I had some device issues and uploaded the wrong one. The current one is uploaded. So starting off with the greenhouse gas report, I want to bring your attention to the fact that we are updating the way we calculate the greenhouse gas. In the past, it had been kept the same, which was high over time because Duke continues to take down its coal power plants. And therefore, what we calculate by reduces over time. This was kept the same for a very long time, just for consistency so that you could see the difference. Overall, though, our greenhouse gases are staying about the same. Where you see changes were based on COVID, where we dropped. And we are currently down a bit with the biosolid dryer offline, but that is expected to return. We are going to project lower in the future as we turn on the solar on the Bryce Stewart building and do street light change. Overall, Duke's energy is going up. We had an increase due to a fuel surcharge that they had to bring back up. And on top of that, we also had a rate increase, and that rate increase is approved to go up for the next 3 years. And we don't expect it to go down as they continue to change to more renewable sources. In the next budget cycle, we're expecting to begin the LED light upgrade for the street lights, and that is about 24,000 fixtures. Right now, the plan would be to do begin half this year and do another half the following year. And that should bring our total energy consumption down by 8.67%. The Stewart Building solar was put on in December, and we were waiting for a while. It's a 70 kW. It was ready to go, and we were waiting for the low-income bonus from the IRA. We just received notice, and that's why I was updating the report, that we did not receive it. They ran out of money. So we will be applying for the 30% IRA credit, and that'll bring it down to about $132,000 total from the original $240,000. So the good news is that our first EV e-transit vehicle for utilities went on the road in March for the first time. And we have that charger that you see up there installed at the Manson Meads facility. We've also agreed with utilities and marketing on the way we're going to brand them, and that's the picture that you see. Right now, we are working on installing chargers for the 3 Lightnings that's been approved and 4 Teslas, 2 which are going to utility and 2 which are going to fleet. And we are going to be installing them at Fleet, at City Yard, and at City Hall. In addition, we've rewarded our money for EECBG funds, and that will add another 4 additional EV vehicles and will help pay for the charging stations. Following the update to the National Landscape Area in March, We got volunteers of Mashivia Gardens for their expertise, and Matthew Mayers is also going to help with volunteering to create a Second Street demonstration garden. The point of this garden is to show what a 5-foot setback looks like and what a well-kept natural landscape could look like. Audubon has given us $3,500 towards the materials for the plants. As we continue with Bee City USA, one of the major projects that we're working on is our first planned meadow, and that's for the Happy Hill Meadow. It's between the park, when you get down below the track, and the greenway. And we worked with Parks, Vegetation Management, and the Agricultural Extension Office to plan this. So right now, you'll see signs up that say it's temporary, garden installed. It will be sprayed brown all this year, and the flowers should be in for next year.
Excuse me. Could you go back to that slide? What about the parks and recreation habitat areas? Why are they listed? I mean, just...
This is how we report for Bee City USA. We report all of the managed areas that help for our pollinators.
Is there a chance that, sorry, Chair. Is there a chance that other areas or parks could be included in this? I noticed that, okay, we got pretty diverse group, but I'm looking at like Martin Luther King Recreation Center right there where the hydroponics farm is and Hope. There is a huge meadow flat that looks just like this one at Happy Hills that I would hope that the sustainability department or others will take a look at as to what can be done. I understand it is parkland, but nobody does anything with it. It's just been there for years, and change that to something when people are walking the Larry Little Trail or at the swimming pool during the summers or whatever, that families and others will go over there and visit that. It's huge. I'll be glad to meet you out there, and you too, Mr. Mayor, any day to look at it, along with maybe our Parks and Recs people as well, that we can partner.
Well, and I will say on our meadows, we're hoping that this is our first one, and if it's successful, we've got some plans to hopefully expand the meadow project.
Thank you.
Hydroponics got their first production, their first harvest near Thanksgiving. Since then, they're producing in one quarter about 2,000 pounds of food, and that equated, they did a valuation for quarter one as being a little over $10,000. And they've also hosted tours to the facility, including the Master Gardeners Association, Forsyth Food Chats, and some other groups. Now, one of our big key pieces that we're working on right now is community outreach for our food resilience. The idea is we're going to create a food resilience planning document to talk about the challenges of our food deserts, also any possibilities of food hazards, and what would we do in the event of the emergencies on food, and trying to get both partner information and resident information. So what you see up there is information on the resident survey. That's a link to it through the QR code. We are hosting 4 in-person meetings, 3 of them spread out throughout the food deserts, and 1 of them will be online as a catch-all. We try to create a bunch of different times, days of the week, to try to capture different work schedules. We also are working with partner feedback. We are working with to do several roundtables and some one-on-one interviews with some of our bigger partners. So that doesn't capture everything in the report, but I hope it covers the highlights, and I'm happy to take questions.
Thank you. Committee, questions? Councilmember Scipio.
Thank you for this report. I have a question on the logo. I think it's cute. However, it will go on city vehicles, right? And the city logo is somewhere in addition to this logo so that people will know it's a city vehicle. That was
Yes.
the concern that I had.
Yes, This is what it is. It sticks on the vehicle. They wanted to make sure it could fit on any type of vehicle and that it could be in addition to both the city or the utilities, because we did agree across departments that it would be a single one. And marketing helped come up with this.
So then the utilities logo is right here, and then that one is there. Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
Comment.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. On the food resilience slide, I'm seeing how you can scan the QR code, get it out, but what are we doing to really get this to the people that need to see it? And that may not be a question for you, but I notice, again, we have these surveys all the time, and we always have these requests for citizens to participate, and basically, they don't. So my concern with this is, like last summer, there were sites that were closing down their feeding programs post-COVID. And people were reaching out to me, asking me, well, where can they get food and how do they, so I had to kind of lead them in the direction of those people who would know or have that information. Plus, what we did, the city, we created like a clearinghouse of all of the sites that feed people, children, seniors, all over town, all the partners, the Times, all of that. So what I'm asking, I guess, is this is important, but how are we getting this out to the different agencies, community capacity, besides our social platforms or whatever?
So we started launching this over Earth Day. So we did an in-person thing over at Earth Day. This is a flyer. It is cited Spanish on the back. We are putting it in some of the community centers themselves and trying to partner with the library. On top of that, we've sent it out to our Sustainability Committee and our Urban Food Council and our partners. So when we collected from our partner information, Second Food Harvest, all those, we are putting it out to them to help spread the word as well. We have asked for marketing support, and they have said they hopefully will be ready to help us in June.
Okay. Because I think with school getting out like it does every year, that is a great opportunity or time to get this out. Have we thought about partnering with the school system?
We do not currently have a good contact with the school system. We've been trying to ask for one.
Okay. Because I do know that Forsyth Tech, Winston State, even Wake, school system, all of them have feeding programs, not just in the schools or at the schools, but food that they prepare or get for the students and faculty and others in community to access. So I'll be glad to look into that and get you that information.
Yeah, that'd be great. We are working with several people from Atrium who are a part of this. So they are some of the bigger institutional partners that we're working with, along with PEA. So we're doing the best we can with the two of us.
I was going to say, well, what you got to work with, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Councilmember Larson.
Well, thank you, Dr. Miller, for the most comprehensive report we've gotten yet on this, our sustainability program. And I think it shows at least we've broken the iceberg, as it were, and now we got to figure out what else to do. How many staff people do you currently have within your department?
We are a total of 4. Lindsay Smith, the energy manager, Mariah Gendy, our food resilience, and Keep Winston-Salem Beautiful, which is in transition this month.
So are you fully staffed?
Capacity is always challenging.
Do we have big holes as far as you see as of covering the bases? Go ahead.
You can answer.
You can answer. This is your chance.
It would be great to get one more sustainability person, an analyst or something like that.
An analyst, that's what I was wondering, if we had enough to people actually looking at the problems. That's good to know. Thank you.
Sorry, city management.
I have one more question.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem.
Mr. Pate, I guess with the budget and everything and you're working on, does sustainability show that we are at capacity so far as staffing, or is there a couple of open positions as well in that department?
And I think that's what Shailen was trying to answer, but I do not think we have any open positions
No.
currently in that department. We are fully staffed in the sustainability area right now. But they, like many other departments, every department that you ask, could use more people, and will be glad to put those to work, as many employees as you want to fund.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Councilmember Larson.
as a follow-up to that, I think for the first time, we're beginning to feel that we're getting some emphasis on this topic within the city government, and it's been a while coming, and I want to make sure that the resources are allocated to get us back on track. We've made some promises or commitments that I'm concerned that we're not going to be able to meet. So I want to make sure that we're at least fully staffed to the point, and I will rely on your good guidance to help us get there. But I am concerned that we're behind the ball on this, and I'm encouraged and thankful for what you've given us today, and I hope you'll come back and give us some more later. If we can show this kind of progress, I think we'll be where we need to get to, but I am concerned.
It's budget season. It's time to make your requests.
That's it.
Scipio.
I have one more question. We might have a good news story here. When we talked about the hydroponics delivering over $10,000,
$1,000, yeah.
dollars, do you know, or does anybody else know what the original expectation was? And is this making that on track and meeting expectations? Or is there more to be done in that area?
I'm not around, and I don't see any from back then. I can say that they are doing an excellent job if you've been on a tour out there. On top of the hydroponics part, they're also planted cucumbers and stuff along in plants beside it, using the greenhouse.
I think that if we are producing and it is generating a great volume, 10,000 sounds like a really good volume to me, that we need to sound our horn and let people know it is indeed producing what it was expected to produce and is of value to the community.
Thank you. I've got a couple of questions. Going to the charger installations, I'm assuming we're using Tesla chargers. Everything seems to be standardizing on that. Are you?
Yes, we have the ones going into fleet are Tesla chargers. Ones at City Yard, mainly they're going to be for the Ford Lightnings. And so right now our plan is to put in, they're given the Ford Lightning chargers that we'll be using those.
Okay. As we install these pollinator beds, it would be interesting to do sort of a total cost of ownership analysis on them. My expectation and my hope is that they're going to prove to be economical from a labor and a gasoline and an equipment cost over time. I would hope that they would pay for themselves at least, and then would give us more opportunity to push for expansion of that. So as we go on, can we kind of keep that in mind and maybe give
So yes, in fact, we have a free consulting we're getting right now from the C2C grant, which is the National Renewable Energy Lab. They're going to give us some free consulting on to make a solar decision matrix, and they're also going to have it on the total cost of ownership, trying to get us some of the fleet information.
Great. Next time you come back to give a report, I hope this will be a quarterly thing that we get an update. But can we get the sort of a rolling count of the number of both electric and hybrid vehicles that we have in service?
Yes, as of right now, it is 3. We have the 2 very old ones in the transit van.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be on the upswing. And then do we have any sort of account on what the uptake has been on people doing pollinator yards?
We have had 3 approved, I believe, and we had 3 or 4 more apply this past week.
Great. Going back to the slide that city utility use and requested LED light upgrades, it's just somewhat instructive to see the percentages and where we really use energy, and the utilities department being the big dog in the room. And as you and I just spoke about a little while ago, to make a big dent in that, we really need to hold hands with the Utilities Commission and the county to really make a dent in that arena. So that's something that we probably need to have
Absolutely.
conversations with.
And utilities is the one area right now that can have options besides solar.
Right. Great. Okay. Anything else? Dr. Miller, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And we'll see you back soon. Anything else for the good of the order? All right, with that, we are adjourned.